Well, I appreciate everybody coming out today. It's a great day to be a Cardinal. Sun shining, March Madness is in full swing, as you can see. Softball will not be able to be here today. Coach Combs can't give an update because he's getting his field ready for the home game against Southwest Baptist. But if you've got nothing to do for the rest of the afternoon and you want to get outside, catch some rays, the softball field will be a good place to do that today. I want to remind all of you that we've combined our golf tournaments, our football golf tournament, our basketball golf tournament, and our homecoming golf tournament into one tournament, which is going to take place June 14th at Cardinal Hill. And I'll back up a touch. On June 13th, the Friday night before, we're going to have a social and a auction at the Belvoir Winery. It's going to start at 6 o'clock and run till 10 p.m. We're going to have auction items, some jewel auction items. We'll have Kansas City Royals. We'll have Kansas City Chiefs auction items. There will also be food catered in that evening. So if you don't have anything going on, you can come at least get a free meal. And I can promise you that Dr. Bailey will buy you a drink. She might not have heard that. The golf tournament, like I said, takes place at Cardinal Hill on Saturday, the 14th. 8 to 9:45 is registration. 10 o'clock is a shotgun tee time. The cost is $125 a person or $500 for a team. That cost includes breakfast, barbecued lunch, grilled on the course out there, the clubhouse by Hy-Vee. And there's a set of 4-pint drinking glasses with the Jewel athletic logo on them. Hole sponsorships are $150 per hole. If you do 2 holes, it's $200. If you do 3 holes, it's $250. If you do 4 holes, it's $300. And every hole sponsorship, if you go over 4 holes, is an extra $35 a hole. So sort of cutting you a break a little bit. There's beverage cart sponsorship of $500, driving range sponsorship of $250, putting green sponsorship of $250, and then there's the Cardinal sponsorship, which is $3,000, which includes signage at each hole, information table set up around the clubhouse if you wish, signage hung at the Mabee Center and in Green Stadium, and then name and logo on the Jewel corporate sponsorship page, and of course one foursome in the tournament. Ideally, we'd like to get all teams signed up before June 2nd, so Cardinal Hill has an idea of how many extra carts they need to order, and also how much food Hy-Vee needs to get prepared. So I brought some brochures here. I'd appreciate it if you'd take some, and we'd love to see you participate in the golf tournament. So without further ado, I'm going to get our 2 coaches here to come up. We've got Coach Graves, who track and field is out of town, but Coach Graves is here to kind of give an update on what's been going on with track and field. And then Coach Stockton sitting over here waiting for his field to dry. I was out there this morning and it's wet. So in between him dragging and air spiking the field, he's been good enough to come in and give us a little update about baseball. So Coach Graves, it's all you.
Good afternoon. Like Joel said, the track program, we are kind of transitioning over from indoor to outdoor season. Tom was here last month and talked a little bit about the end of our indoor season. We had a very good finish to it, and I'm real excited about how most of the people that did well for us were young. They're all going to be back. I'm the throws coach, in case you couldn't tell. I don't work with the steeplechasers anymore. And our throwers, sometimes Tom forgets to update people about how things are going down in the rings because he's up on top of the hill. We were very fortunate this year. We have 4 freshman throwers that are all going to really help our program. I keep a top 10, or actually a top 20 now, top 20 list on all the different throwing events. All 4 of our freshman throwers this year have landed in the top 10 among kids that, with their best marks as seniors, our freshmen are now matching what they did as seniors. So I'm real proud of that. Looking at my notes here, one thing I do want to remind everybody, Jewel Relays is coming up on April 4th and April 11th and 12th. On the 11th is the Larry Hamilton Invitational for high school teams, and on the 12th is the Darrell Gorley Open, which is for the college teams. We've gone back to having them both on the same weekend. It makes it a lot easier to set everything up and get it ready to have a home track meet. Takes an awful lot of work, and instead of doing it on two separate weekends, we're doing it on the same weekend, so it's all set up and ready to go. So put that in your calendar, the April 11th and 12th. Our first outdoor meet is this Saturday, and I'm not there. They're in Kingsville, Texas. They left on Tuesday night, drove 14 hours, went to practice. All accounts that I heard from the bus were that they needed a shower stop in between, but they got one after practice. And they're all having a good time down at Corpus Christi, spending some time on the beach as well as practicing. They have a meet on Saturday at A&M Kingsville called the Cactus Cup, and that'll be our first outdoor action. Like I said earlier, I'm the throws guy, and I'm very proud of what our kids are doing this year. I've got 4 freshmen, 1 sophomore, and 1 senior. Our sophomore girl ended up second place at the conference, which is an accomplishment for us that we have now. In the 3 years that we've been in Division II, we've had a female thrower make all conference at indoor, and the first 2 years so far, we've had a female thrower all conference outdoors. So we hope to extend that streak and get the men involved also. So anyway, if you feel like I say, April 11th and 12th, our home meets on campus. The Larry Hamilton Invitational and Darrell Gorley Open. Both those two gentlemen show up for those meets, so if you have any nostalgic things you want to see with those two guys, they'll be there on those 2 days. So thanks a lot, and hope to see you this spring.
It's good to see everybody. A little bit of baseball update. Let's see. We started practice on January 18th. And we have not practiced on a baseball field one time since January 18th. So that's been a little difficult. So we've played 12 games, and despite a 5-7 record, I feel like that's not too bad for never getting to practice on a baseball field. We started out the season down in San Antonio. It was a great trip for us. Got to play the number 5 team in the country. They're currently the number 3 team. We got to kind of do some team bonding. We spent a day at the Alamo looking around, and it was just a great trip for us. And we played good baseball down there. And then we moved. We were supposed to have some home games, and we had to move those down to Arkansas. We've been battling a few injuries. Probably our 2 best players were injured for, up until the last couple of games. And now one's re-injured himself, so we're battling there. But on a positive note, good news is, as of yesterday, the William Jewell pitching staff was leading NCAA Division II in ERA, number 1 in the country in earned run average. So pretty impressive stat, being 12 games into it and the competition that we've faced so far. And then another fun note is one of my assistant coaches, Rafael Cedeno, is best friends with the Royals starting catcher, Salvador Perez. Pretty cool there. And Salvador invited Rafi to spring training last week. And so Rafi got to spend an entire week of spring training hanging out with the big leaguers. Got to talk with George Brett and all those guys down there, and he just said he had a great time, learned a bunch, and I think we're going to get him, Rafi, on with Rick to talk about his experience down there. So our next home game, or our first home game, is going to be this weekend, hopefully on Saturday. Like Joel alluded to, our field is still wet. We're having some issues there, but hopefully in the next couple of days with the warm weather, we'll get that dried out. If not, I've already talked with Liberty High School, who has graciously said that we could use their facility if needed. So hopefully we'll get that first home game in this Saturday at noon, and would love to see everybody. Thanks a lot.
With it being spring break, it's tough to get everybody here, and I don't blame them, especially when you look outside today. But appreciate everybody coming today, and we'll see you next month. Thank you very much.